Hey VC, here's to a video that no one's gonna watch. Gimme 10, Australian Jazz. What an appropriate week to have an Australian Jazz video. Monday the 13th of January. It's 10 o'clock at night. It's still about 35 degrees outside. Tomorrow it's gonna get to 42. The day after 41. The sun-kissed country, as they call it, it's happening. It's going to be hot. You can see by my attire and my cold drink that I'm not lying to you people. Melbourne is cooking this week, and Australia, yes. The first thing I think of when I think of Australia is the sun. Although Melbourne is very unpredictable in that sense, where it can be very, very nice one day and pretty crap the next day. But since moving here about 11 years ago, I've been living here. I've become quite enamored with Australian music in general. I have tried to school myself. And it's very difficult because there's not much writing to. You have to dig, and you have to talk to people, and you have to listen to and take punts on records. But anyhow, I have 10 great Australian jazz records that I want to share with you. Some of these are very expensive records to buy, and some of these are very common. Or somewhat common, and I know that if you live in America or in Europe, it would be very hard for you to come by those. I'm not showing them to brag about them I just want to share them. A lot of them I've showed on the VC before, and they all represent something different to me. I love them all. I'll start with this, this somewhat funky effort by Don Burrows. This is Don Burrows presents the Tasman Connection. Don Burrows is a flautist. He's still alive. He still plays. He's quite old now. This album is on Cherry Pie Records, which is a fairly common label if you dig in bins in Australia. And this is called the Tasman Connection because of the band that plays is made of people from New Zealand, Kiwis as we call them, and Don Burrows, hence. The Tasman is the sea between Australia and New Zealand. The first track of this track, if you want to sample something, sample the title track, the Tasman Connection. Funky drums, lots of really cool organ, Fender. No, I don't know if it's a Rhodes, probably just a organ. Lots of really cool stuff. 1976. Don Burrows, fantastic. I think I'm going to go over 10 minutes, but I don't really care. I will show you. Then another band that you see in almost every bin in Australia is the Daly Wilson Big Band, but you don't see this record. Just to give you an idea of price, the first record that I showed you there goes for about $30 on average, but that's being conservative. This is like a $40 record there and then, and this is also about a $40 or $50 record. You never see this. You see all the other Wilson Big Band, you can pick them up really easily, but this one here is scarce because it's funky, very, very funky, and because it's been sampled to death by all sorts of people. I think Mobb Deep sampled this on their most famous record. The title escapes. This is on Festival Records, just to show you the label. This is from 1970. Doesn't say, early 70s. The Daly Wilson Big Band is a big band, very famous. And here you have Carrie Bedell, and she's a singer. And yeah, a very funky affair, very cool. I'll move on, because otherwise I'll be here forever. Goose Duck, great band as well. These records are fairly common, you can find this quite easily. Not quite easily, but somewhat easily. Send a copy of this to Chris 417 Basket. This is a soundtrack for a movie called The Removalists. It's on Philips, and all of these are OGs, all of these stone cold original presses. There's no reissues there. So Philips, this is very sort of interesting take on post-bop, if you will. A little electric jazz in it as well, you know, little funky keyboards happening. I really like this record. It's great. It grooves hard. It's a good record. The Removalists, that's from 1974. Next, this is a very expensive record. Expensive records. I want to shout out to Chris 417 Basket, who showed a Cole Nolan record in his most recent update, which the Cole Nolan record that you showed Chris, if you're watching this, which you will, I think, is one that you can find really quite easily here. And this here is a $100 record these days. This one cost me probably $60, but it's a great record. It's very funky again. The Cole Nolan Soul Syndicate, and Cole Nolan is the guy on the organ there. And What's the Use? You can see there it says What's the Use. That's where you're gonna listen to. If you want to listen to a clip on YouTube, pick up What's the Use. You'll love this. This is very good. It's got sort of scat vocals, and you can see this is a funky band. Bloody hell! Guitar, organ. He plays the organ, sax, and drums. This is on Avant-Garde Records, and it's from 1973. There you go. Cole Nolan Soul Syndicate. I mean, just the name, Cole Nolan. Here's my favourites. Ozzy Jazz records, without a doubt. A record that I came across by accident at work. They were getting rid of records. I work at a school, and the music department at my school was getting rid of all their records, and so I looked through the bin, obviously, because, you know, that's what I would do. And this record popped up. And I didn't know anything about it. I just opened it, flipped it open, and I just thought, this is going to be cool. It's got to be cool. It's got to be cool. And so I took it, snapped it up straight away, and went home, put it on the turntable. My head exploded. This is a fantastic electric jazz record, maybe one of the best. I rank this very highly. It's expensive to buy these days. It's you know, it's a $60 record there and then. And then I bought a second copy. This is the second copy. This is not the original that I found. The one that I found, I sent to Chris again. Chris 417 Basket has got mine. The first one I found. The interesting thing is, Brian Brown died last year, unfortunately, but his wife was a music teacher at a school, and I knew her, and I used to talk to her, but I had no idea who the husband was. And in retrospect, I learned who she was and who this guy was. Funky as hell, funky, funky but electric and brooding, you know, in a sort of a Mwandishi band type of thing. You know, it's just a real Mwandishi vibe to this Carlton streets. And Carlton is a suburb of Melbourne, in case you're wondering. And the tram there, which is a tram, is an actual, because Melbourne's got trams everywhere, so that's why. Here's another pricey record. I sent this to Clarke. Clarke, if you're watching me, I hope you dig this record. This is John Sangster, which I will show you in the picture inside. There we go. This is John Sangster. This is the band. Now, John Sangster is a local Melbourne musician, passed away many years ago. And for this Paradise, called Paradise Volume 1, he was commissioned to provide soundtrack for a resort in Queensland, which is far north Australia, if you like. And the resort is called Surfers Paradise. It's up near Gold Coast, Brisbane, up that way. Surfers Paradise. And so, because he was commissioned to do this, they just released it into a soundtrack. But you can see this is a real artifact with the whole booklets, the promotional booklets. So he puts a soundtrack to this, which is a funky jazz band, and it's very, very cool. I really like this piece of this artifact. It's not easy to find these days, and this gets expensive. Without being funny, it does. And I hope Clarke enjoyed this copy. This is truly an interesting record. I'm not going to file it in because it's a bit too hard to slot in. And here is probably the most expensive of all the records that I've shown you here. It's Judy Barrick Quartet Colors. And this is a mind-blowing piece of music. Super, super, super cool. Fender Rhodes aplenty. Very, very, very fun to listen to. She was from New Zealand to start with. She is, I think she's still alive. And she came down to Australia to record music. This is a funky band. Now, little story about this. I found this in my local record store in the jazz bin for $12. It is in mint condition. The record is mint. Everything is mint about this. This, you can go on eBay and have a look. This record, Colors, by the Judy Barrick Quartet. It's $100 record. No question. It's an original, Eureka. Very, very funky, very cool. A couple more records, 3 more in fact. This is a band from Melbourne, Pyramid. This is a record from 1980. By the way, Judy Barrick is from 1972 or 1973, I think. Just for you to know. Pyramid is a band, an electric jazz band from Melbourne. This is from 1980. It's on East Records. Also a pricey record to find these days, but it's very sort of very space jazz in a kind of Les McCann type of affair. Love the label on this thing. It's beautiful. And the first track, Song for Bobby, is a great track to sample there. Song for Bobby. There you go. And for the Judy Barrick, if you want to listen to something, there's some songs on this. What's the... Oh yeah, I think... try Colours of My Dream. Yeah, Colours of My Dream. It's great. This is fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. Great cover. Great music. It's... yeah, space jazz. You know, kind of... Bruce Clarke, the Bruce Clarke Quintet, This is not all a winner. There's some let down tracks on this, but most of these very, very cool record. It's the Clarke Quintet. This is from 1970 something. It's on this really cool label called Kumquat Records. 1972, I think. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's got some funky moments, some straight jazz moments. Yeah, it's an interesting record. You can sample that too on YouTube. Stratus Funk. I mean, how cool does it look? Just a record. And finally, because I'm already on 16 minutes, this is a beautiful little record, Crossfire, debut album, on Harvest. Here you go. Australian Harvest. There's even a little kangaroo. Look at this. You see? And this is electric jazz in a sort of Miles Davis with lots of horns. Fantastic records. 1975 Harvest. Okay, I hope you enjoy this. Just a few records, bit of fun. See you next time, YouTube.